It's 3 in the morning. You're wide awake, and the more you tell yourself to fall asleep, the more awake you get. Now you're doing math on how many hours you have left until the morning and how ruined tomorrow is going to be. I'm a sleep doctor, and I still end up there more often than I'd like. So today, I want to show you the one tool I actually reach for when that happens. I'm Dr. Craig Canaperi, and I've dealt with insomnia on and off since I was a kid. Some of this has to do with undiagnosed restless leg syndrome, and some of it was that very 80s decision to have a Coca-Cola with dinner every night. But the short version is, I'm not explaining this from the outside. I'm an insomniac telling you what works for me. My sleep is always worse when I travel. I just got back from a few days in Barcelona, and right on cue, I was lying awake at 3 in the morning. And this is the technique that I reached for, and it really helped me. I think it can help you. This technique is called the cognitive shuffle. I first heard about it from a colleague named Brendan Duffy who taught it at a conference, and it has stuck with me because it's so simple to use and so easy to teach. It was first created by a cognitive scientist named Luc Bodin, who's from Canada. He is a lifelong insomnia sufferer, so he's an expert, but also created something to help his insomnia and that of others. The easiest way to think about this is it's like counting sheep on steroids. Counting sheep is actually too boring and too repetitive to do much. The cognitive shuffle gives your mind something just engaging enough to crowd out the worrying, but random enough that it mimics what your brain actually does as you fall asleep. More on why that matters in a minute. Here's exactly how to do it. And I'm going to do it at the 3 a.m. pace, because that's the part everybody gets wrong. Demos online go too fast. Pick a word, any word. Let's use bedtime. Start with the first letter B. Now think of a word that starts with B. And this is the important part. Once you come up with a word, then picture it. Don't just say it, see it. Broom. Ball. Bee. Booger. It doesn't matter if it's silly or inappropriate. That's fine. And right about now, your brain is going to throw something at you. Did I send that email? Did I make a note of that meeting? You're not going to fight it. You just notice it, and then you go back. Where were we? The letter B. When you run out of easy B words, move to the next letter. E. Elephant. And you just keep going, letter by letter, at exactly this pace. Slow, no rush, until you drift off. You're not trying to finish. Finishing isn't the goal. Falling asleep is. A few things I've learned doing this myself. 1. Don't worry about your word choice. If you pick a word like sleep where there's 2 E letters in a row, it's not a big deal. Just keep coming up with words for each letter and then move on to the next one. It's okay if you repeat them. 2. And this is the big one for anxious or type A people like myself. Don't keep score. You're not trying to win. This isn't the New York Times spelling bee. If you can only come up with 2 B words, great, move on. The moment you start grading yourself, you've turned the sleep tool back into an insomnia tool. 3. Go slow. The slowness is the whole point. And 4. If you get frustrated, take a break. Frustration and sleep don't mix. This doesn't have to be the right technique for you. Again, don't grade yourself. So, why does naming random words and then picturing the images associated with them do anything? Bowden and his colleagues published a review in 2020 looking at what people actually think about when they fall asleep, both normal sleepers and people with insomnia. In good sleepers, that transition to sleep is full of loose, dreamlike, disconnected imagery. Your mind is already shuffling. You're not doing anything. It just happens. People with insomnia, their pre-sleep thoughts look different. One study they cited found insomniacs were stuck on planning, problem solving, the noises in the house, the temperature of the room, any trivial discomfort in the body, or the big one, worrying about still being awake. Less random imagery, more anxious monitoring. And that's what 3 a.m. feels like to me. Worrying about problems, dreading tomorrow, noticing every sound. So here's the trick. The cognitive shuffle deliberately manufactures the random, disconnected imagery of normal sleep onset. As Bowden puts it, it resembles in critical respects natural sleep onset. Instead of fighting to fall asleep, you're imitating what your brain does when it falls asleep on its own, and your body tends to follow. Now, I'll be straight with you. The research here is still limited. Bowden has published an abstract on a related method, with college students reporting less pre-sleep arousal and better sleep, but it's early. There's also an app he built called My Sleep Button that walks you through it if you'd rather listen than do it yourself. I'm sharing this as a tool that works for me, and it also has a plausible mechanism, but it's not a cure. So that's the cognitive shuffle. Pick a word, go letter by letter, picture each word, don't keep score, and let yourself drift. And the important caveat, this is a tool for the occasional bad night, not a treatment for a real sleep disorder. If you're struggling night after night, please talk to your doctor. There are great treatments, and you don't have to white knuckle it. I especially recommend seeking out cognitive behavioral therapy for insomnia, which has been shown to produce lasting improvement in people who suffer from insomnia. But the next time you can't fall asleep or you wake up at 3 in the morning and your brain won't quit, give the cognitive shuffle a try. Pick a word, start picturing, see where you end up. If this was useful, subscribe. I make evidence-based sleep videos minus the hype. Sleep well.